If this is happening, which it is, against Trinity's proposed law school, it's wrong. It needs to be condemned, and so I'm very concerned what's happening in Trinity, because it's much more than Trinity's freedoms. It's about Canadians' freedoms.
So BC's Minister of Advanced Education has revoked his consent for the proposed law school at Trinity Western University. Let's back up for a bit and talk about how this controversy got started. And it's not limited, by the way, to British Columbia. Rachel Siegel is with me. Trinity Western is a Christian university, and they have some rules on their students regarding sex outside marriage. The rule is don't.
Yes,
okay, it's pretty easy to understand.
Very clear cut there,
yeah, exactly.
Clear law.
Yeah, a lot of people characterize it as an anti-gay thing, but it's actually, as I understand it, no sex outside marriage.
Yeah.
Not specifically, why don't you heterosexuals go for it like university students often do, and the gay students are not allowed to. That's not the rule.
Right.
But there are a lot of people who hate that, and sadly, many of them have law degrees, and they're trying to stop Trinity Western from bringing in a law school.
Yeah, and so the Trinity Western is saying, you know, we are a Christian college and a Christian university, and we expect that those who attend our university would uphold those Christian values. I am going to come at this story from a little bit of a different angle. I am doing my Master's of Law currently at Osgoode Hall here in Toronto, so I consider myself, I am a law student currently in Canada.
Okay.
I did my law degree overseas, but when I heard this story, what really struck me was in Canada, we have only a few law schools. And by adding another one, this allows for more opportunity for students to go into law school. The amount of competition right now amongst law students in Canada is so high. The threshold to be admitted is so high that a lot of people are not going to law school or going overseas like I did to do their law degrees.
All right, we're joined now by Guy Saffold, who is the spokesperson for Trinity Western University. This withdrawal now of consent from BC, is that a total defeat, or is this still something you can move forward with?
Well, it's by no means a total defeat. It certainly is an obstacle in our path to opening our law school, but we hope to eventually be able to clear that and move ahead as soon as we can.
Well, you've kind of gone through this fight before with your teachers' college, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. In 2001, the Supreme Court spoke very authoritatively on exactly the same issue and said there should be no prohibition of Trinity Western being able to operate an education program. It's certainly our contention that this should be exactly the same this time, and it's disappointing that we're having to go to court again over the same issue.
So what's the status here? Like, I know that the Law Society here in Ontario has condemned what you're doing. Are you going to end up in the Supreme Court, or are you already headed there?
Well, there's an expectation, I think, by all parties that this will probably end up at the Supreme Court. We could hope that the Supreme Court, if it gets that far, would say they don't need to look at it again because they've already made a decision. That would be a very delightful outcome. But times change is the contention, and it needs to be looked at again. So I suspect we'll get to the Supreme Court.
I think I read that one of the things you would do, should you have a law school and graduate the lawyers, is that you would be asking them to strongly consider working in underserved, smaller communities instead of taking that law degree and going to the bright lights of Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal.
Well, yes, we wanted to have a specific focus for our law school, and it was on working with underserved communities, with charitable law. Law schools tend to specialize in different areas of law, and this was going to be the one that we felt would be distinctively compatible with our nature as a university that seeks to go out and do good in the surrounding culture.
Why does the rest of the legal community hate you?
You know, I think it's a desire to have in a sense, the value of tolerance has become intolerance. And they don't like the fact that we have a distinctive Christian view of marriage. There certainly seems to be a desire that that view would be marginalized in the context of Canadian society. We think that's unfortunate. It's against diversity. It's against tolerance. And we're hoping that, you know, in the end we can go ahead and represent this kind of a law school with a distinctive focus.
Well, there's that to your credit, and also I don't know why people get bent out of shape. Nobody's forced to go to your university should you open a law school, and clearly when your lawyers are graduated, they're going to have to follow the laws of Canada.
Well, exactly. Lawyers of all persuasions, what they might be gay and lesbian lawyers, they might be Christian lawyers, they're all obligated to serve their clients to the best of their ability out of professional ethics. I have no doubt that there are many lawyers that disagree with us who still serve their clients well. We believe our lawyers would be able to do exactly the same as others, so it's unfortunate that this controversy has arisen.
Do you have gay students in your school?
Yes?
So what then is it that people object to? You just ask people not to have sex before marriage?
Yeah, we, as a Christian community, we have a belief in marriage that Christians have had for thousands of years. We want to uphold that and ask people who come to our community to respect that, at least for the time they're here. We don't ask them to necessarily believe it or agree with it, but when you join the community and step inside, you're going to be here for a brief period of time as you complete your studies, and we ask people to live within the boundaries of this community for that period of time.
Well, they're young people, and young people are young people. How successful are you in that endeavor, do you believe?
Yeah, well, exactly right. I mean, it's not a matter that we want to have a police operation running around checking up on people, but we want to be very forthright and help people understand what the values of the community are, and we ask them as a matter of integrity to live up to them. Some may choose to do otherwise. That certainly happens, but we want to, at the beginning of the process, at least make it clear what we believe and what we expect.
Well, I wish you luck. As I said, I don't think anybody, nobody's forced to go to your school, and if they don't like it, they can just ignore you. And I believe what has been demonstrated in this fight is a lot of anti-religious bigotry on the parts of people, especially from the legal community, ought to understand human rights. I appreciate your time, and good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.